My name's Pete Woods, you're watching Hexham TV. Who are you?
I'm Olwyn Hocking, and I'm one of many people involved in the campaign to stop flights doubling, would you believe it, on our doorstep at Newcastle Airport. It was a huge shock, you can imagine why, as climate change is accelerating and everybody knows we haven't yet reduced emissions sufficiently to stop it continuing to rise to temperatures and go towards irreversible tipping points. And then out of the blue, aviation, which is one of the areas that's still emitting far too much because of its use of fossil fuels, announces, let's just double the number of flights. I mean, we just couldn't believe it when it was announced. The plans were finalised in February this year, and we are trying to spread the word throughout the whole of the 7 local authority areas that own the airport, own 51% of the airport. Clearly this is one very important area, and Hexham Climate Cafe are one of many groups that are supporting this. If anybody would like to find out more about it, get in touch with the Climate Cafe and they can pass them on to us. The airport tries to say that somehow technology will canter to the rescue, and wouldn't it be lovely if there was a magic wand? If there was, we wouldn't be ending up with climate breakdown and all the extreme weather and so on. There is no magic wand. We have to accept that emissions need to reduce and have needed to reduce now for about 30 or 40 years, and we're not doing it yet. So we beg groups across the area to sign up to our campaign, to object to planning applications, and to make quite clear that the airport cannot double the number of passenger flights.
What do you say, Olwyn, to people who say the airport's a big employer, people like to go on their holidays, if they don't go from Newcastle, they'll go from somewhere else?
Mm-hmm. Well, absolutely very fair point, and it's good to underline that we are not against people flying. The vast majority of people either don't fly or maybe fly once or twice a year, and the airport is big enough to provide that. So the airport should be continuing to do what it already does, but not doubling. Most of the emissions from aviation are from an extremely small number of frequent flyers. And so doubling is just going to give even more flights for those people, not for the great majority. So we're not against flying. On the jobs side, though, we do challenge that. The big headlines that across a lot of the newspapers around the area, including in the Hexham Courant, refer to the fact that we believe the plans to be smoke and mirrors. It claims to create jobs. We have asked them to produce independently validated evidence that it does create jobs and would create jobs in the future. The vast majority of flights from Newcastle Airport take people out of this region for holidays abroad. It takes money out of the region to be spent abroad, and so there is a net loss to the regional and the UK economy from flights like these. It's not bringing in jobs. There are a small number of jobs at the airport, but you may already have seen that Japan has started to experiment with automation to do baggage handling and all that kind of thing. So the jobs claim is smoke and mirrors, and we would ask everyone else to require them to produce independently validated evidence to back up their claims.
Olwyn, thank you very much for talking to Hexham TV.
Thank you for taking an interest.